my name is Dan Hammer, and it's a pleasure to give you a short introduction to the next video, which is a recording from one of our live Saturday presentations. It's a powerful video on how to effectively brand yourself. This video is led by David Munoz, a passionate team leader in Synergy Worldwide who is on his way to becoming a team manager. How does he consistently have 8,000 CV or more in his lesser leg and continue to build? It's because he learned a powerful but simple branding message called the 2-minute discipline. Get out a pen and paper and take good notes as David shares his story.
You see my smiling face?
We do.
All right. Good morning, all. I hope everybody's fine. Thank you. I always get excited when I have the opportunity to share, give a webinar and share my story and share my knowledge, whatever limited knowledge I have with the group. And the reason is because I feel excited. I feel excited about the opportunity that I have to do it, given the fact that I kind of slap myself every morning and say, you can't believe that you've been in the financial services field all your life and now you're in the health and wellness. And the journey that we've taken, and with many of you, and to this point where we have gone through trial and error, seen our business grow, and of course now going into newer and greater things and learning in the process. And I get the opportunity to share something special this morning called Pick Your Brand and Make Your Stand. And what I wanted to do is, of course, this is me and it's my picture showing an old box of Pro-Arginine Plus. There's a new box. And right below the 2 minutes daily discipline that I wanted to go over, it's going to be a general presentation this morning about the 2-minute discipline, but more importantly, I want to give you a message how important it is that we try to brand ourselves and pick our specialty, our strategy that we've chosen. And give me a moment and see if I can, okay, here we go. What I wanted to do is just go over very quickly what we did last week when we talked about goals, because I think it's so very important, part of the process of picking your brand and making your stand. So one of the things we talked about is making sure that you are very clear in your mental clarity in terms of what your business plan is. And the business plan your brand will be part of your business plan. And as I will state towards the end of this presentation, it's a plan to win. Meaning once you make the commitment to start on this journey, build your business from the bottom up, your plan will be towards the end to make a difference. And this is all part of course, why we're in this. We started with dreams, then we went on to goals, then we wrote the goals, and this is the process of implementing the goals. During the process of implementation, we keep our focus. And I said last week, there's a lot of curveballs that are going to be thrown our ways. And I'll tell you, we'll talk about making errors and learning from mistakes, and I'm an expert at it because I've made most of them, I feel, and have had to pick myself up off the ground and start over many times. However, you don't give up, you keep your focus, and part of keeping your focus is you're meditating every morning and inspiring yourself and looking into videos and looking into your affirmations and reminding yourself why you're doing this. And one of the best things you can do is, I'll say it again, is avoid Facebook all you can in the morning, especially getting caught up in reading what other people are doing, and stay focused into what you need to do. This creates a burning desire. It keeps your frustrations at bay. It keeps your mental toughness. And again, as long as you keep your focus and you start your mornings right, and of course, it helps grow a very healthy obsession. When you do parts 1, 2, and 3, it just prepares you for the day, and it keeps your obsession going. And it's what I call, you're feeding your vision and you're starving your fears. You're keeping your frustrations at bay, knowing they're coming, knowing you can overcome it, knowing that every day is a new day, and you continue with your vision. One of the things I'm going to do when I get into the next slides and talk about pick your brand, make your stand, as I am talking, I learned something very important, and I think Dan's talked about it, is a 30-second rule. When you are looking at this presentation and you have perhaps a pen and a notepad on your desk, thoughts will come to your mind. Or, as in my case, thoughts will come to my mind when I'm driving and I have to pull them aside and write something down. Thoughts will come to my mind when I'm sleeping. I used to keep a pad of paper next to the bed. I don't do that anymore. What I do is I grab my cell phone and send myself an email. And this is how I do it. I find my place where I won't bother my wife, and I'll say, Siri, send an email to David Munoz. And Siri, or if you don't have an iPhone, it could be another mechanism, and he'll say, well, what's the topic? And I'll say, this is the topic. And they'll say, and what do you want to say? And I'll say something very briefly. Remember this idea, remember this thought, and I'll go back to sleep. Now, that's just me. That's just the way I function. But the 30-second rule is if you do not do something with a brand new idea within 30 seconds, it's maybe gone forever. You'll wake up the next morning and say, God, I had a great idea. What was it? I can't remember. And I practice this because, and I have 2 or 3 different ideas that are still pending that I think are fabulous, and I haven't captured them. Sometimes I'll even hear a commercial on the radio or a commercial on TV, and I'll say, what a great way to present your thoughts. And I'll record it. So remember that 30-second rule, because your subconscious is going to work for you in putting your brand together. So we've all seen this slide or these companies, and we can look at it and we know that they have made they have made a point with their particular brand. Our goal, I guess, in this webinar this morning is to try to stimulate our minds to pick a brand of ourselves. So this is our choice. Dan's going to present next week, obviously, the plans and the promotions, and of course our 10-10 club and what we're going to be doing, and all that's going to be the process of our business, how we're going to go about getting our 10 customers. But before we do all that, we should identify our strategy. So whether it be holistic skincare, you're going to raise that flag, and then that's the one you're going to go with. Nitric Oxide Therapy, as I do, or Elite Health. You're going to pick which one you want to focus your strategy on, or it could be all 3. And God bless you if you do that. That's great. I'd like to see your business plan or share that, and then go from there. So in my case, of course, this is an illustration of one of the flyers I give to my Hispanic community, and I use, as you see there, the 2-minute discipline. And when I decided to use the 2-minute discipline, I decided to implement it in a lot of the platforms I used. Why? Because that's my brand. I tell my customers 2 minutes a day can make a difference of a lifetime. That's the time it takes to open a packet or pour out a scoop of Fraudulent Plus, mix it in water, stir it right before breakfast. I even tell them, put it in front of your coffee so you don't forget. Put it right on your kitchen counter. That way, as you make your breakfast or as you get ready for work, you're drinking Fraudulent Plus and starting your day off right. That's almost as important as listening to motivational videos or reading something inspirational. Your Bible, perhaps a 15 minutes of just meditation. That's the part you're doing for a spiritual side. And of course, your business side is you got to start your day off right. This is a page I have on something called the 2MD Club, which is 2minutesadayclub.com. It's both English and Spanish, and I point my customers to this page when they want to read my Nitric Oxide ebook. And of course, I give them the choice of going into an English or Spanish platform, but on this platform, I also put in the small brand called 2 Minutes. Once they go into the platform, there are testimonials. There are for body pains, diabetes. There's one for high blood pressure. And again, on these videos, I've inserted on the first page a small indicator there that reinforces the brand that I've chosen. And of course, this is a flyer I use with the grocery stores. The grocery stores give this to their customers. It has on the lower left-hand side how you can save by buying four boxes of Fraudulent Plus at a regular price. You save $20. and you save $30 buying 2 jumbos at the regular price. And of course, I also tell the grocers, give this out, hand this out to your customers as you pack their groceries in a bag. Just put this in the bag and include it. They'll take it to their house. They'll look at this side, and the other reverse side has the 22 reasons why you should use L-arginine. And it reinforces the brand. 2 minutes a day makes all the difference of a lifetime. And this is this is my Facebook page. And I have several videos in there, but in many of them I'll also include, of course, the 2 minutes logo or 2 minute brand that I reinforce. So this is my calling card. This is my flag, if you will, for making my brand and taking my stand. And I've learned that this, even when I take calls from customers, they'll tell me, I want that thing about the 2 minutes a day. What thing is that? Well, you know, when you talk about, in Spanish, Pro-Arginine Plus is very difficult to pronounce. So I said, you mean nitric oxide nitric or nitric? Oh, yeah, that one. So then we take it from there. So what makes you stand out? When you are doing your business, when you compete, we all have competition. What makes a difference in your business? I would say that when you approach picking your brand and making your stand, you're going to try to be a little different. Now, before I go into a couple of suggestions, and this webinar is not very long, it's kind of short, but at the same time, I do have some recommendations. These recommendations I either learned from outsources or learned from my own mistakes. So one of the things is you got to be a product of the product, for crying out loud. You know, you're not going to go out there and pick a brand without using it, because you are a living, walking billboard. You're the testimonial. So that's a given. Keep your concept simple. As I will show you in a couple of examples I'm going to give you for the other flags. And it must create an emotional response. The person must be able to relate to your brand, to your flag when you share it with them. And also, when you approach someone about, whether it be a product brochure that you're giving them, your business card, a flyer, whatever it be, you got to ask yourself, or ask yourself as if you were the customer, why should I do business with David and no other person or company? What is it about him that attracts me that I want to do business? And again, I have to reinforce the 30-second rule of the ideas that you've had, how you're going to approach this question. And I'll share with you what I say and what I share most of the time, whether it be a warm lead or somebody that was referred to me, or a cold, someone that I'm talking to for the first time that's just getting to know me. What is it about David Munoz? The last thing I will do is talk about the product. The last thing I'll do is talk about the product. When they say, I heard you're into this, or you have a product, or you have, I'll say, wait a minute. This is what happened to me. And I'll just tell them my story. You know, mom died of diabetes in '92. I was frustrated. Going from doctor to doctor, trying to find a solution for my mom's condition. And we lost her. We just, you know, despite the medications, despite the doctors, she didn't, and we lost her. Dad was in the same situation back in 2010. I was lucky enough to run across someone who shared with me their story. And since then, I got into something called Nitric Oxide Therapy. I still haven't talked about the product, Nitric Oxide Therapy. And I learned that just in 2 minutes a day, that's all it took. And I was going around so many offices, so many medications, and I learned in 2 minutes a day, my dad was able to get his health back in little as 4 months. Diabetes went from 200 to 120. His quality of life improved tremendously. He was able to go back to his garden and do the things he couldn't do. And I thought I was going to lose him like I lost Mom. They'll say, wow, so now I've shared now I've got their attention. Now I'm hoping to create an emotional response You know, they'll say, well, my dad's going through that too, or maybe I'm going, well, I have a brother, a mother, a cousin. I establish a dialogue even before we get into price or product or anything. What is it that you do? What are you talking about? So I'll say, this is what I found. I found a product that has L-arginine, and L-arginine is in many products, and in salmon, you find it in chicken, and there was a doctor back in 1998 that won the Nobel Prize. And I'll go into something simple like that if they're willing to listen and engage in a conversation. And I'll finally eventually get to the product. Why do I get this product? Why do I recommend this one? Obviously, we go into 262 quality assurance steps. We go into the fact that it's the only L-arginine product recognized in the NPR, etc. You guys know the rest of that story. So it has to be something that they can relate to. So I got maybe 3 slides left, but I wanted to just share a couple of things. For example, if you are going to raise the holistic skincare, and I thought about this, I said, what would I show? What would I say if I was going to go? Obviously, I would use the images that are available to us through Synergy. And so I went looking through Synergy, and I found a couple of them that I liked. And those of you that are already promoting TrueLume probably are way ahead of me on this, but perhaps I can give some tidbits of information that are helpful. But I would promote something simple that said, no more wrinkle for pennies a day. So just for pennies a day, you can improve your skin, or 3 simple steps to beautiful skin, or here I am again. That would be the 2-minute daily discipline I would use in a holistic skincare product. And again, I would try not to mention the products as so much as the emotional response. Here I am again because this is the way I was, and I wanted to return to the way I looked maybe 10 years ago. So that would be my holistic skincare flag. So here we are, gut riddance. So I thought that would be pretty cool because, again, these are images that we've used or I've seen used by Dan and on Synergy blog. And I would have a marketing brochure created that would have a catchy phrase or something that I could say, gut riddance within a month, 30 days, a week, my new belly, something else. And, of course, whatever other creative 30-second inspiration you get when you're thinking about picking your brand for your Synergy strategy and making your stand and running with the ball with this. This is Herm Edwards. Some of you have seen this video, maybe others have not. And I'm going to try to play this video, and I hope that it plays in this platform and we listen, because this is so inspirational to me, because it makes a point, a very important point about the business that we're in. Once I decide not to be a participant and I've picked my brand and I'm going to make my stand, that means I'm going to get up off of being a spectator and getting into the game. And when you get into the game, this was Herm Edwards, and his team had lost, and he was being interviewed by reporters. And rather than admitting defeat, he came up with this very inspirational video that I wanted to share with you. Let's see if you can hear it.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sport. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You don't play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. From the path.
I thought that was important to share, because in this game, as we call it, or this business that we're in, it's important that we have a winning mentality. And to play, and of course, it's important that whether we have a good day or a bad day, when we get up the next day, we're again planning to win, no matter what happens before. When we approach every day like that, then we come back to the winning process. Again, this slide was so wonderful last week. I just wanted to do it again, and you've seen it. And one of the things I said last week, I'll just repeat now, is when we are in these webinars and when we take our notes and when we come up with interesting ideas, it's important that we act on these ideas as soon as we can, or at least put it in our plans, in our agendas, to act on them, so that these notes are not forgotten and the webinars are not forgotten, and we can act on them and make something of it. And we say the moment you complete this, that you reduce your plan to writing, and I'm reading the middle one, when you reduce your plan to writing, the moment you complete this, you will have definitely given the concrete form to your desire to win. And that's my very short seminar this morning. And if there's any questions or any comments, I'm very happy to talk now.
Hey, David.
Yes, Dan.
Excellent presentation. Thank you. And you have given not just me, but hopefully other people that are on this live presentation, and we've recorded it, so we'll be able to share it with other people in our Synergy organization. But as we go down these 3 different marketing strategies, you've definitely showed us a very powerful marketing strategy for nitric oxide therapy. But you've blessed us by giving us some very powerful marketing strategies for holistic skincare. I love what you've done for that, and also for what you've done for the microbiome. Those are some excellent, what I call headlines that you can use to brand yourself. No more wrinkles for pennies a day. I mean, for every person who decides to go down this holistic skincare line, that type of business card, no more wrinkles for pennies a day, given to a person with a before and after picture, simple steps to beautiful skin. You know, it's fantastic what you've done. And if you move to the next one for the microbiome, I really love that My New Belly. Gut riddance, I like that one, but I love the My New Belly. That one is so powerful because so many people are trying to address that issue. And we have a product line in microbiome research through the Purify program, and then products that we can use after they've completed the Purify kit, and use certain products effectively on a monthly program to continue that process of resetting their gut health and seeing what it does for their waistline. Excellent. Thank you, David. We've all been blessed this morning by what you've shared. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Yes, and I would encourage anyone who uses these brands or gets these ideas to write it down and put it, make it your calling card, put it on your marketing material, put it on your Facebook, on your social media page, and mention it frequently. Mention in your conversations, have you ever heard of My New Belly? What's that? And of course you say, well, you know, at one time I had this, or I had a customer, or just share your testimonial before you get into the products. And I find that process works because you've got to find an emotional, again, you want to get an emotional response or a point of, a common point of let's say, of feelings, of emotion with that person, so that you can really address that person's need. The more you do for them, as they say, the more you will do for yourself.
You know, David, I have to jump in on this too, because as you talked about this 30-second thing, as you get ideas, you need to write them down. You've just given people, again, another way for them to use social media, not just My New Belly and share your testimonial, but as you work with clients and get their permission, just like you've done with regards to nitric oxide therapy, where you've created videos. Well, maybe you can't do the videos like David does, but you can certainly share their testimonial. You know, this is what my numbers were for blood pressure prior to nitric oxide therapy. You know, no, in your case, the 2-minute discipline. You know, here's another one of my customers who applied the 2-minute discipline. Here's what their numbers were cardiovascular-wise. Here's where their numbers are now after applying the 2-minute discipline for the last 30 days. Or if you did the microbiome, My New Belly, here's one of my customers who've given me permission to share my new belly, what's happened to them by resetting their gut microbiome. This is what their waistline was before. This is what their waistline is now. Or the skincare. This is the before picture of my client. This is my after picture of my client after just 30 days on the skincare, on the holistic skincare line, applying. I can't remember what your tagline was for that, David. If you go back to the previous slide. You know, no more wrinkles for pennies a day. Here's one of my clients. This is what's happened to their skin in the last 30 days, before and after picture. And then maybe even highlight some specific things. Like, you know, I'm looking at this picture, David, and you can definitely see that on her lower cheek area, she had different types of spots. I don't know if it was from acne or what, but if you look at the right-hand picture, most of that stuff is all completely cleared up. If you look at her mouth and that, some of the wrinkles around her mouth, those are cleared up. If you look at what's going on around her eye, especially, I mean, a remarkable improvement in the quality of her skin that you can see visually. And it's just, this is fantastic what you've done, David. And I hope the people that are on here on today's live webinar, and for those that watch the recording, because I plan to take this webinar, David, and I want to make it part of the training system that we have for each one of these strategies, because the information shared today is phenomenal. Thank you, David.
Great. Thank you very much, Dan. And yeah, and I always say include your passion. Like you were mentioning the young lady on the left-hand side here, where her skin before and after, the person who talks about this, you know, and I know there's new people coming on board. You need to be a product of the product, and when you are, you will see the transformation in yourself. When you talk about your transformation, you might have to picture yourself, or even, you know, put some emotion behind it, because you're going to have a lot of testimonials coming through as your business grows. You're going to want to capture those moments, those testimonials. You're going to want to get excited about it. And when you talk to individuals, you know, because there's a lot of competition out there for skincare product, you want to isolate yourself and make sure you say, yes, and this picture, but would you believe it? She did it just for just pennies a day? Or could you believe it? She did it in 3 simple steps. And those steps are the steps that you have to incorporate into your marketing strategy. What are those steps? The people can resonate to that and get emotion. You mean in 3 steps I can do it every day? Yes. And then you explain it, and hopefully the product and the prices will be the very last thing on the list after they're emotionally involved. Because selling is emotion and, of course, service. Any other questions or comments before we wrap this up?
David, it's Judy.
Hey, Judy. Good morning.
Hey, great information, and you know, I really like how you want to put emotion in it. But even more than that, I think as consultants, we often forget to tell people about what makes us different and why people want to do business with us. And I know for me personally, when I started doing that, I got more orders and I got more reorders because people tended to trust me more for some reason. I know I tell people that when they deal with me, I am there for them and that they can call me with questions and concerns. But even more than that, I want to celebrate with them what is changed in their life. And please, please stay in touch with me as I will stay in touch with you, because that's who I am. That's what I do. And you are important to me. And as your personal consultant, I will be there for you and for your friends. And I tell that to everyone as they place their first order. And it's amazing how people will call me 3 days after they get the product and go, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe my blood pressure went down 20 points. And I celebrate with them. And it makes such a big difference in my business and in my customers and the longevity of them. So thank you so much for reminding us about that.
That is just so awesome. I'm just thrilled just hearing those words. It's great, and I can't stress enough how much it's important. And you basically said that you've made a friend. You've made a friend in your customers. They're more than customers. Now they're a friend because you say, I want to stay engaged with you. I'm not here to make a sale and disappear. I want to stay in touch. I want to make sure that you're better. And I tell my customers that too. I say, look, I'm in business for the long term. I'm in business so my business grow. If this product does not work for you, if you do not get results, I'm wasting my time. Wouldn't you agree? And I asked them, wouldn't you agree? And they said, oh, yeah, you're right. Why would I buy a product? I says, yes, the most expensive product you can buy is the one that doesn't work. That's why it's important. I want to follow up with you. I want to make sure you're happy. I want to make sure it works for you. And yeah, you put passion in your voice because it's true. It's absolutely true. So thank you, Judy. That's wonderful. And any other comments or questions?
This is Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. Good morning.
How you doing? I love what you do. And thank you so much for sharing. I think it's very important that we take pictures often when we're doing our on our TrueLoom, because just using just one product like the face wash, I have been getting like questions. What are you doing now? You know, because they know that I did the Purify at work. They know that I did the Fortify at work, and they're looking at me like, and they keep looking, and they don't want to say anything, but, and, you know, they said, what are you doing now? What is it you're doing different now? And I'm like, it was 3 days on just the cleansing gel.
Nice.
And they're like so noticing the wrinkles under my eyes are not dark, and it's just amazing. So pictures often when we're doing this.
Basically, you're an example of a walking billboard, which is great, and that's what we should be. We should be, you know, out there and sharing that. So I appreciate your comments, Tracy. That's wonderful.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you.
David, Timothy here.
Hey, good morning, Timothy.
And how are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, sir. How about yourself?
Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate every word you said, and I'm going to take stock and add some of those things into my thing. Thanks,
Yes.
David. I appreciate this.
Grab those 30 seconds and start writing them down as soon as you get ideas.
That is a good idea. I've lost so much by just saying I'll do it later. It doesn't work.
Yep, we have resources. Use your phone. Make yourself a note. There's good apps you can download that are recorders.
Well, that's great because I lost my old phone. I lost it by dropping it and it went dead. So I got a new one now that got all the bells and whistles, and I'm still learning to use it. So
Use it.
Use it.
All right, Timothy. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Well, thank you, everyone, for participating this morning. I value your time. I value your attention, and I'm honored to be on the webinar with you. If there's no other questions or comments, everyone just have a fantastic day. Now let's pick up what we learned and let's go get them.